Hi, everyone. So we are here and on another Wednesday. I haven't been saying that like I did for the Instagram lives, but we are here on another Wednesday. And this is going to be the last Wednesday of this month. We'll take the week off at least when it comes to the Wednesday lives next week, and then we'll come back at the beginning of November. Again, we're here for lung health, and in November, we'll be coming back with diabetes all around the Halloween season. You know, it's scary times. So a lot of people are yelling, really using their lungs, screaming. Hopefully, not too much. And then, of course, we eat a lot of candy, so we'll come back and talk about diabetes. But either way, today we're going to start with a quick little quiz. Last week, we did the reading with Raven. That was just kind of a weird thing. Maybe I'll look more into doing stuff like that next year, because I will be putting together the calendar for 2026. So the 2026 calendar and a different annual theme, and we'll see what happens for 2026. Just so you know, the themes will be different. There won't be the same themes every year. I'll have to go through and look and see what's going on every month. There are so many different things going on nationally and internationally to pick up to have for an annual theme, which is why some of the themes that come up seem to not really fit as being like cultural and things like that, because I'd like to mix in other themes that all cultures can relate to for the most part, and then more sparingly highlight specific cultures. All right. So let's take a little quiz on lung health for today. I'll share the screen. American Lung Association. Seeing if I can not have to do this. Is it a requirement? There's not moving that. Lung quiz central. Take this quiz to test your knowledge of. Oof. Okay, here we go. Nope. Australia. It's not particularly what I'm looking for. So it looks like I stopped sharing my face, but the screen is still being shared. That's odd. Lungs are life quiz. No. Let's go back again. All right, let's try this one. 10 questions. Yeah, so who knows what's going on with the live right now? Okay, so what is the most likely diagnosis? asthma, emphysema, interstitial lung disease, or pulmonary hypertension? I think it's asthma. What? Spirometry. Oh, emphysema. All right, next. Which of the following is a cause of an obstructive pattern on spirometry? Which of the following is a cause of an obstructive pattern on spirometry? I think it's a chest wall deformity. Bronchiectasis. Okay. What pattern is seen in the following volume time graph? So the more volume, the more time you can hold your breath, I guess. Oh, the patient stopped breathing too early. The patient breathed during the test. The patient stopped breathing too early. Oh, the patient stopped breathing too early. I think it's that one. Restrictive disease. The forced vital capacity is overall reduced, as is the FEV. This is suggestive of restrictive disease. You review a 54-year-old female with persistent changes on her chest X-ray, which were first noted incidentally. On taking a history, you determine that she has had a reduced exercise tolerance for several months. You order formal pulmonary function tests, which reveal what is a likely diagnosis. Okay, so we talked about the bronchiectasis, which had to do with the lung capacity. So everything was kind of as expected, except for the FEV FVC ratio. That's the outlier. We talked about what FVC means. We just talked about it. Pulmonary fibrosis, chronic bronchitis. I really don't know. I'm going to say it's not bronchiectasis because it doesn't have to do with the capacity. I'm going to say it's not chronic bronchitis because for it to be chronic, it would have to be talking about something over time. Emphysema is really common. I don't think this is emphysema. So I think it's pulmonary fibrosis. Yay! A reduced FVC with a normal spirometric ratio suggests restrictive diseases, and this is confirmed by the reduced total lung capacity. Well, my reasoning is off, but The low capacity. Anyway. In respiratory clinic, you review a 43-year-old female patient with a 6-month history of cough and shortness of breath. You perform spirometry, which reveals the following. What is the likely diagnosis? Six-month history of cough and shortness of breath. Again, with the ratio, I guess the ratio is kind of normal. The predicted and the result. The biggest gap between the predicted and the result is FVC. I don't remember what that means. But I think it's lung disease because of just the recent long-term issue. Yeah. Which of these medications would improve bronchoconstriction in a patient with asthma? Histamine. I think it's histamine. Well, an antihistamine. Bronchoconstriction. Metropolit. I think it's A or D. I don't think it's histamine. I think it's metropolit. It's either the first one or the last one. Yeah. Salbutamol. Which of the following is not a cause of an obstructive pattern on spirometry? Which of the following is not a cause of an obstructive pattern on spirometry? Which of the following is not a cause of an obstructive pattern on spirometry? Asthma is. Emphysema is. Pulmonary fibrosis is not. Right? Yeah. Because you got bronchitis, then something's wrong with the airways, but this is the pulmonaries. Idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis is a type of interstitial lung disease which would produce a restrictive pattern. Obstructive and restrictive. Okay, it means you can't move as much, but obstructive means there's something blocking it. Which of the following is most suggestive of a restrictive pattern on spirometry? They said the FVC was related to bronchio something. So I'm going to say it's either the FEV-FVC ratio or it's the FEV1. It's got to be a ratio. It must be a ratio. It must be a ratio. Oh, I'm totally wrong. While reduced FEV1 is also a sign of restriction, yay, at least I got that. The forced vital capacity is the most direct marker of restrictive lung disease on spirometry. A normal spirometric ratio occurs with restriction. This is also used to exclude obstruction. Interesting. A normal ratio occurs with restriction. Okay. Your patient, a 60-year-old male smoker, presents with a 6-month history of progressive shortness of breath and reduced exercise tolerance. You perform bedside spirometry, which yields the following results. Which yields the following results? Is that supposed to be a question? I don't think that's supposed to be a question. What is the likely diagnosis? At this point, I should be able to get this right? The ratio is not what's to be expected. I'd say the ratio is the worst part here. And we know it's not indicative of anything restrictive. But we don't have an option here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's only obstruction. Something talked about the ratio before. I don't remember. I think it's the pulmonary thing. Isn't it the pulmonary thing again? I'm going pulmonary. Oh. The FEV1 FVC ratio is less than 0.7, which is diagnostic of obstructive disease. Given the smoking history and the age of onset, the most likely cause is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Which of the following is a cause of an obstructive spirometry pattern? Which of the following is a cause of an obstructive spirometry pattern? Obstructive. Chronic bronchitis. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. You know, I think that was tough. That was cool. All right, now for the book. Am I still sharing my screen? I'm still live, just not sharing my face. Okay. Well, look at that. AV2 book code. Yeah, let's go. Our AV2. Well, that's interesting. Added value. And that has nothing to do with this stuff. That's because of AVFE. Okay. Let's start with water lungs, page 4. And we're going to start the quiz. All right, that might be something new I didn't know about, or that wasn't available back in the day. Let's try and get it looking consistent. So today we're talking about lung health. That's cool. I love that. Across multiple classes. I know I said a couple lives ago that that wasn't possible. Okay, that's cool if you're giving another teacher awareness of the same assignment. I mean, sorry. I guess I apologize. I guess I actually never collaborated with another teacher with Google Classroom. So if you had 2 teachers on the same class, then you could collaborate like that. That's my fault. I didn't actually think it all the way through. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if this is a subtle difference or not, but what I mean is okay, yeah, I didn't think it all the way through. Lung health, October 22nd. Okay. But can you manage another teacher's abilities on your class though? I mean, could I have a teacher be able to share assignments that are clearly somehow labeled as being from that teacher's class? Or as being clearly labeled as being a joint assignment? And I know that that seems really tedious and maybe not cool, but I think I think teachers would be more willing to put teachers on their classes if there were the option to kind of I have to figure I guess I just have to practice and see what it's like because I never really did try it. But the teacher's on there as an admin, and the teacher can be like, "Hey, I'm going to pull this assignment from my class and put it into your class. And this is something that they can reference or work on in your class, if they finish early or something like that, right? And you guys can swap those assignments within your like digital classrooms just to make it clear without students getting out of the class and then like saying, I didn't know what to do, I was finished early. Well, you have this assignment, this long-term assignment in your other class. I don't know why I'm thinking about this right now, but or it could be where two teachers are working together to make an assignment that's strictly for that class. Because I think those are two key differences between collaboration and teachers. And teachers really like to make it clear which assignment was made by them, which assignment was made by someone else but used by them, and which assignment was genuinely jointly created by two teachers. And I think it'd be really cool if there were an option for that. With a Google Classroom. The school version of Google Classroom. I think it could perhaps bring up types of drama, but I think if if the school is big on collaboration and different types of collaboration, I think it'd be really cool to let that be part of Google Classroom. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and assign this. Just a blank quiz. I'm going to have to make this in like 3 minutes. But yeah, the blank quiz is lung health. Place your hand on your chest, take a deep breath, and hold it for a few seconds. Now let your breath out. Did you feel your chest rise a little bit? When you let the air out, your chest went back down. You just felt air moving in and out of your lungs. You have 2 lungs inside your chest. The lungs are organs that are part of the respiratory system. The respiratory system is made up of the body parts that help. Oop, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be reading all this. This is not a big deal, but okay. Which bodily anatomic system? I don't know. Anatomic, is that right? Which anatomic system is are the lungs a part of within the human body? So I'm going to say the endocrine system. Endocrine. The endocrine system, the respiratory system, And then I'm going to say the what is the other one? I can't think of the neural system. Is it the neural system? Okay. All right. Cool. Let's go to the next page. I'll get another question. Which of the two lungs is bigger? Survey responses? Survey responses? I mean, I'm very satisfied. Which of the two lungs is bigger? Now, if I were to say why I said somewhat satisfied with the multiple choice, I mean, it's amazing. It's awesome. It's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. And then even with the answer key, you can, yeah, if you could like, if it were a multiple choice question in some way, somehow, I know it seems like too much, but different values. Because that's a really big thing if you're using something like just online learning. Every little bit of encouragement counts for kids. And if you can give them multiple answers, if you can give them a multiple choice question where all the answers are right, and you just want them to select the brightest option, I'm telling you, man, they would be way more willing to take a test if they were like, dude, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to be right. All I have to do is choose the best option, which is something, I don't know, it's like the rightest option isn't a thing, but if everything is correct, right? Somehow, some way, that would be kind of a pain of a test to put together, but just so you know, it doesn't matter what you select, all your answers are going to be correct, but we're going to see who can get the most correct in the best way. Oh, yeah. Which of the two lungs is bigger? Left lung. The right lung. Neither. They are the same size. Oh, wait, I was supposed to not be sharing the entire book. And just, cool. I love that you can choose more than one right answer. That I love. It'd be cool if you could choose how many points. Can you? I don't think so. That would be awesome. Too much, perhaps. I think that's a feature somewhere. I know I've seen that feature somewhere. I might have even seen it in Google Classroom before. Highly appreciated, but also probably confusing for a lot of people too. So I understand if you had it and then took it away. I know I've seen it somewhere before. Okay. Two more questions. Ooh, you're not going to use. It does go through your esophagus. But it's for food and liquid. Yeah, the esophagus is not for air. Okay, great. It gets blocked while you breathe. Right? Isn't that right? All right, so now we're done. 5 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! Now we're going to finish up with an itinerary. So let's share the whole screen again. Great. Good news is that we'll easily be able to find the image for the takeaways for the end of the week. So yeah, what are we going to do related things? I did put a conference in the trivia question for today, but the thing about the trivia question is that it's not really child friendly, and this book is clearly child friendly. And it's a Wednesday book, so I do try to get more into the contents of the text and everything, but we also have a kid who's swimming. So I'm going to see what I can find related to children's lung health, or if there's a lung museum, and see if it has like a kids workshop or something. Lung museum. I feel like I haven't been searching museums specifically in a while. Ooh, we have the Lung Museum, which is in Shanghai. So I'm kind of looking this up because yesterday the trivia question, excuse me, because yesterday the trivia question was about a child, an anonymous child that was the first person to be helped by an iron lung. So I'm doing the best I can to include that because this book has more of a childish theme to it. Okay, this is the second time I'm seeing this. So, Lancaster Medical Heritage Museum, the Iron Lung in History. I don't think this is the one. Immersion iron lung, the early respirator for producing artificial respiration over long periods of time, was designated. Is it in person? Where can I go to see an iron lung in person? Oh, you can see an iron lung in person from museums, including like Pennsylvania, the Southern California Medical Museum in California, and the Warren Anatomical Museum at the Harvard Medical School in Massachusetts. Other locations with iron lungs on display include CDC Museum in Atlanta, the Science Museum in London, and the Strauss Health Sciences Library at the University of Colorado. So here's the thing. I was just hoping I could go to a museum that had lung in the title. Okay. All right, well, that's it. That's it. So I just have to, let's copy this quiz. Hold on, we're not copying the quiz. We're gonna get it in a second. I need to do better with keeping track of the quizzes that I take so that I can refer back to the quizzes. I need to put a spot for the quizzes on these pages. So not Nigeria. I need to copy this. So the book here that we're talking about is lungs. Just the lungs. So we're going to the Lancaster Medical Heritage Museum. Did it say Philadelphia? It just says Pennsylvania. Is it in Lancaster? Yep. Read all or part of the book. Find as you explore the museum, sort information with which I'd say read the entire book. Read the entire book. Read the whole book. Read the entire book this time. Match sections of exhibits with which with the chapter of the book they best expand on. I like it.